The resistance is here, baby. Hot Toys just officially announced X-23 from Deadpool and Wolverine, and I got a lot to say about it. Let's jump into it. So if you've been following Hot Toys' social media pages, they've been teasing that the resistance is coming for these characters from Deadpool and Wolverine, and we were all speculating who was going to be the first one announced. Well, we finally got our answer. That is X-23 from Deadpool and Wolverine. I'm really hyped to talk about these promotional images, so let's jump into it and talk about them. And here we go. We have Daphne Keene portraying X-23 in these first look promotional images for the just announced X-23 from Deadpool Wolverine, man. I mean, that just sounds so cool to say that we're still getting figures from Deadpool and Wolverine. We knew that they would potentially go deep with this line, but it's always nice to see an official announcement. And I'm just telling you, based on this first image, we have a lot to be excited for. I mean, I think that this is a character that people were really wanting. I think this is a character that people were very hyped to not only see in the movie, but to also see getting a figure from Hot Toys. And it has not disappointed on this first image here. I love the outfit. I think it lends itself great to a figure because we're getting something a little different, you know? The only thing I could kind of relate this to recently, I guess you could say maybe that 1973 Wolverine from Days of Futures Past, something like that. You know, you got the jeans, you got the jacket, you got a shirt, even that Tony Stark suit up, you know, you got that shirt with the graphic tee on it or whatever, or the graphic on the tee. You got a backpack here, which we're seeing a lot more of. We're seeing some more backpacks. We're seeing some different accessories. So this is really exciting because you're getting some different accessories based on this image. Getting that backpack. You're getting pants, boots, vest over a t-shirt, a belt. So it's really cool to just kind of see a different outfit. And when this character was in the movie and they speculated that were going to get this figure, I think that people were, you know, I can just speak for myself, were wondering like, how's it going to look? And I'm just telling you, it looks really good. The pants look like they really lend themselves to good posability here. So I'm very interested to see that. These arms almost look, I think these are seamless silicone arms. We're going to keep looking. Let's go to the next image here. And here's another great image here. We're going to zoom in a little bit just on that head sculpt with the glasses. You can kind of see this hair sculpt here. So this hair sculpt is very interesting. When I was going through some of the photos earlier, I haven't seen every single photo, but when I was going through the first like 4 or 5 of these, I believe we're going to get interchangeable hair. So by the end of the video, we'll kind of look over the listing, but I'm pretty sure this is interchangeable hair. This is like an add-on piece. But this is really cool. This kind of lends itself to like an action pose, which I really like. So if you want to pose X-23 that way, that'd be really cool. Again, you get this really cool accessory here. You get this backpack. I just love that, man. This keychain accessory. And you get these really cool seamless silicone arms. So we definitely are getting this seamless silicone arm. So again, I don't have a figure that has that yet, or I haven't had it long enough to really know how the wear and tear is going to look over time. But just in terms of how it looks and adding to the realism, it is fantastic. So I noticed that Hot Toys is really going this route with a lot of their figures. Again, we got these wrist covers here, you could say, that are going to cover up that wrist joint. So when you interchange the hands, hopefully that's an easy process. And again, just adds to the realism, which I really like. And we just got to talk about how cool the sunglasses accessory is as well. I mean, I think that is a must for this. Again, the graphic looking really cool. The vest looking really cool. The pants and the boots. I'm just really impressed so far with the tailoring of this. Let's go to the next image here. And you can kind of see it right here. So you're seeing a lot of the arms being posed in this position here. You're seeing a lot of posability with the knees and with the legs. And again, I see a lot of people potentially having their display like this. Now, again, I don't think this is going to come with a second head sculpt. It would have been cool to get a second head sculpt with like a more like, you know, fierce face, maybe when she's going into attack mode. But honestly, if this keeps the price point at a reasonable price, I'm going to be happy with just this sculpt, to be honest with you, for me personally. And we're going to keep rolling here with these pictures. And again, here you can kind of see it right here, man. The proportions on this are really good. The body proportions are great. You can kind of see that, you know, again, I think in another photo, she is standing next to Wolverine. So we're going to kind of see the different sizes there. But I can already tell you, I really like this hair sculpt mechanic here. I didn't think I would like it. Like when I first saw the image of it, I wasn't totally sure. But the more I'm looking at these photos, the more I'm actually really appreciating that and liking it, especially because it's a choice. Like you can like interchange them, so you don't have to have it like this. But I do think it lends itself to kind of like an in-action pose. And I've been talking about this with the head sculpts from Hot Toys lately. They're really capturing performances like mid performance as opposed to just a default sculpt. Again, this is a default sculpt, but you're getting that hair sculpt that adds itself to like a in scene type of moment. So I really like what Hot Toys is doing there. Again, I just can't get over how good these silicone arms look. They just look fantastic. The claws look great. Just everything about this so far, so good. We're going to keep rolling, and we're going to get to the head sculpt here in a minute. So stick around if you want to see the head sculpt without the shades. But I just wanted to show these pictures in order from what they were presented on the Hot Toys Facebook page. Again, you can kind of see a little bit of the base here. We're going to get to that in a minute. But, you know, just more of the same. Again, love the backpack look. I love the accessories that come with this. Again, they're accessories that I see myself using, and that's what's really exciting. Like, you know, how many figures do we get where we get a ton of accessories? And I'm not complaining. Don't get me wrong. I'm not complaining. But I am saying that like a lot of those accessories you're never going to use. You're never going to take them out of the box. With accessories like this, I feel like you're going to use them. I feel like people are going to have the backpack on. I feel like people are going to put the shades on. So accessories like this, I get way more excited about than, you know, like a figure that's going to come with like, 25 accessories, but maybe you're only going to use like 3 of them. Again, it's nice to have them. But if this keeps the price point down to where I think it's going to, and we're going to look at the official sideshow listing at the end of this and kind of look at the price point and stuff. But I really like what I'm seeing so far in terms of accessories. Now, here we go. We got the sculpt without the sunglasses. And you can just see, and if you've been following my channel for a while, and if you haven't, make sure to hit that thumbs up button. Make sure to hit that subscribe button so you can stick around. You can check out more videos, live streams, all that stuff, man. I'd love to have you as a subscriber. But if you've been following my channel for any amount of time, you know how big of a fan I am of rolling eyeballs. I feel like every single figure, every single 6-scale figure, if you're going to pay upwards of like, $250 and above, should always have the rolling eyeball system. Again, figures that come in around that 200 price point, I would love for that as well. But I just feel like from now on, now that we've gotten them with a lot of Hot Toys, I feel like especially Hot Toys has been showing us that they're going to be adding rolling eyeballs to all their figures going forward. And I think that's a great idea. I just love how it gives you a different look for the character, a different emotion. And you can kind of see this different hand sculpt here. So you get this other hand sculpt with the claws. So there's another hand sculpt. Looks really, really cool. I really like that a lot. Let's see what else we got. Got this other here, and again, I just can't take my eyes off of the backpack straps. I mean, the backpack straps just look so cool. Again, this hair sculpt, while it doesn't work for me all the time, I do like the option of having it, because if you have her in a particular pose, I feel like it really like lends itself to showing an in action, in route type of performance. Again, I'm trying not to repeat myself, but that's the best way I could put it, is like it's like an in motion pose that you can do. So I really like that. Again, rooted hair for this character would have been awesome. I mean, I think that a lot of people would have been, but again, with everything going rooted and a lot of like premium releases, I'm actually excited that we're going to be able to get this figure and potentially get the Resistance, these 4 characters, Blade, Gambit, Elektra, and X-23, each one of them hopefully around that 260, 270 price point. And if I remember correctly, I'm thinking that's what the listing said, but we're going to talk about it at the end here. And again, I love this image right here. I love this image right here. You can really see the head sculpt. This head sculpt is really, really great. It really is. And again, I am noticing with Hot Toys, they are just absolutely crushing it lately with their head sculpts. Not only on the promotional images, like we expect the promotional images to look fantastic. I think the finished product should look just as fantastic. If you're going to sell a product, if you're going to like promote something looking a certain way, and again, if it dips a little bit, that's understandable, because it is what it is, right? Like just a little bit. But I think that for the most part, they are really taking to heart how important head sculpts are to people. And just based on the ones I've gotten recently, or the releases that I've been seeing, even though update a sculpt, kind of like that Mantis, they'll update a sculpt to make it look even stronger than the promotional images. I think as long as we get something very, very close to this, we're going to be extremely happy, because this is a great sculpt of Daphne Keene. You can see just the expression on the eyebrows. You can see, I really think the sculpted hair is really great, guys. I really do. I mean, I know you kind of run into like where you're going to get like strands, almost like, I guess strands of like, you could say it's like spaghetti strands of hair. You can kind of see that with like Thor figures and stuff like that. But I really think it blends well, how it fits over the shoulders here. And again, we're going to take a look at that other sculpt that doesn't have this flowing hair sculpt. But I just think it's really strong. I love the paint applications here. I think they did a good job with her around the eyes. Daphne Keene has very expressive eyes, and they just knocked it out of the park. These eyes, these are some of the best eyes on a figure I've seen. And that could be Daphne Keene's likeness. That could be just how good these promotional images are. Or there could be something to that, because the way they kind of did the the detailing around the eyes and the eyebrows, I just think they really knocked it out of the park. Again, the nose all the way down to the lips, all the way down to the jawline. Everything about this sculpt is just top tier. Absolutely incredible sculpt. And I love this different hand here. You got these default hands where you don't even have to have the claws out. Most of us are going to have the claws out, but it is nice to have this, especially if you're a toy photographer, to have this here holding the sunglasses, kind of just like a kind of hanging out pose here. I really, really like this a lot. And we're going to keep it rolling. And this figure is just looking great, man. This figure is just looking great. I was kind of taking a wait and see approach on this Resistance. And we're going to talk about this if I plan on pre-ordering this. But if this is what we can come to expect for the Resistance for Blade, Gambit, Elektra, if we can get the same quality that we're getting from X-23, man, it's going to be tough if you're a Deadpool and Wolverine fan to say no to all those pieces. Like, you're at least, I could see a lot of people maybe only picking up one or whatever. But still, man, I mean, it's going to be tough not to be getting this X-23 if you are getting that Logan or you are getting that Wolverine, whatever version you plan on getting. And it just looks great. And here's what I was talking about with that kind of in motion pose. I really like this hair sculpt for that reason, because this looks really cool. I love these open hands. I actually almost prefer these open hands with the claws as opposed to the closed fist. It's just different. It adds a really cool element to it. And again, you're kind of seeing the same type of pose. They're really kind of showing off that pose, that crouching pose, about to lunge pose, which I totally understand. That's big for the character. But again, man, I'm just taken aback by how good the head sculpt looks with and without the sunglasses. You know, I mean, I think both looks are phenomenal. It's gonna be hard to cover up those eyes because the eyes are so expressive. But man, having those sunglasses on to me is almost a must with this figure. Just such an important part of the character. And you know, you can kind of just see more of this. You know, again, we haven't gotten to the default hair yet, so hopefully we get to that soon, because I'm pretty sure we do have that. But again, you can kind of just see more of the sculpt. Again, just different angles of this sculpt. And here's a great enhanced, you know, zoomed in view of it. Again, man, just the cheekbone, even that little mole right there, even the detailing around the nose and the nostrils, the detailing to the upper lip. I mean, this is fantastic work. I really think we have to take a step back and be like, look, these figures are very expensive, no question. Like, that's just the nature of it. Like, you know, 6 scale figures, they're expensive. But if we're getting this quality of head sculpt stuff, and again, for me, man, head sculpt is the most important part of the figure, in my opinion. Like, for me, like what I collect. So when I look at a great head sculpt, that makes up for a lot of other things. I'd rather have an insanely good head sculpt and a great, you know, great look for the character right out of the box, as opposed to an incredible deluxe base or a ton of accessories. Again, when you put all that stuff together, you get an incredible piece. But I'm really hoping we get more of this type of quality for like sub $300 in price figures, because I'm just seeing a lot of figures getting up there in price. So I really want to start seeing more of that. And to get this figure, again, we're going to take a look at the listing here in a minute, but just based on it, I'm guessing it's around the 260 to 280 mark. And again, this sculpt is just so good, man. This sculpt is just so good. The lines on the lips here, again, the expressive eyes, the rolling eyeballs, man, it's just looking incredible. And I just wanted to take a moment to really give props to the sculptors on this, because again, and I know it's a promotional image, but Hot Toys has been showing us great promotional images, and for the most part here over the last few months, man, we've been getting insane quality with the final product, and I want to continue to see that. And the sculpt is just scary good, man. It's just scary good. And the reason I say it's scary good is because you got to do a double take and be like, oh, okay, this is a figure. You know, especially, could you imagine if this was rooted hair? You would like just assume it was like a still from the movie. And again, I'm really happy with the sculpted hair. And I just love the tailoring. The outfit looks great. It's something different. It's a different look for the character. It's cool that we're getting the Jim Lee Wolverine and we're getting this version of X-23. I'm just very excited to be able to have those two in the collection together. And speaking of that, great segue, because here we go. So we got, this X-23 is approximately 27 centimeters tall. So that gives you an idea of like how big it's going to be. Again, compared to Wolverine, I really like how they show this, kind of showing you what to expect and how good are these two figures going to look in your display. This is going to look so good. So if you're somebody who love Deadpool and Wolverine, but you're like, man, I don't know how I want to collect it. I don't want to get everything. Do I get this? Do I get that? I do think that having different options for your display, like maybe you're somebody, oddly enough, that already had a Wolverine and Deadpool and you just want the Resistance, or maybe you're somebody who just really wanted an X-23 to put with a previous Logan. I like how there's variety with these characters Star Wars does a really good job of that, of kind of having different characters from different eras or whatever, but sometimes they kind of fit seamlessly together. Same thing with X-23 and Logan here. I just feel like if this is the route you want to go, you can only pick up 2 figures from this line. And for whatever reason, you already, you don't need this Deadpool. You have a previous Deadpool. This would not be a bad option for you right here. So I just love how these two look amazing together. So I'm very impressed with that. Here we're going to get into the details here. Separate rolling eyeballs that we can see. And you know what? I think I missed. So I did miss this. So look. So this we finally got a picture here without the floating hair. So if you're not a big fan of that flowing hair right there, you have this right here, which I think looks fantastic. I really do. I think this looks really good. Just me personally. Again, the only thing I'm seeing is on these boots here. I'm not sure how much articulation you're going to get in the ankles. I'm not sure how much you're going to get over time with these silicone arms, like how much you can bend them, how comfortable you're going to be bending them. That's why I almost see a lot of people having this display. But the frustrating thing is if you have X-23, you're going to want that action pose. You're going to want that type of in-action type pose. So that remains to be seen. So all we can go off is promotional images right now. And just based on what I'm seeing, this is a great announcement. Just those few things right there, the articulation in the arms and the articulation in the ankles is something I'm a little nervous about, just in case you wanted to pose up your figure. Luckily for me, if I do pose a figure, it's normally not a crazy pose, but I just wanted to point that out in case you were someone who really, wants to pose this figure. Again, we see just this incredible sculpt here. Just, what hasn't been said already about that. I'm trying not to repeat myself, you guys, but it's true. The hair sculpt and the head sculpt to me just look great. Here we go. We got 2 styles of hair sculpture. Kind of see how good this looks. This is like flowing. So I love the details here because you got this flowingness right here. You got this separation of the hair strands, and you got it kind of coming out here a little bit. And then right here, you got more of like just a default like hair that's just like almost just like, just freshly combed almost. It's just like more together. It's more tight. And it's less like flowy, but it's also, you can see the difference. It's not just a huge chunk. I mean, even though right here it kind of is a huge chunk, the way it separates here and the way it kind of flows right here, again, I still think for sculpted hair it looks really damn good in my opinion. And this is a really cool thing right here. Interchangeable hands with claws and boots with detachable claws. So I love this right here. Even though you're not going to get a ton of ankle articulation from what I'm seeing. Again, I could be wrong. I'm just not seeing it. Correct me if I'm wrong on this. I don't know if if there's a split right there where you can move the ankle. If not, that's going to be something that you want to be aware of. But this boot looks really cool with this detachable claw on it. Again, the 2 different hands with the interchangeable hands with the claws look fantastic as well. Again, man, I keep looking at this open hand. I really like that a lot. And we're going to take a look right here at the specialized body with silicone arms and seamless joint. Again, these arms look incredible. The only question is how, again, and I can't answer this because I don't have anything like that. Let me know in the comments below how concerned you are about the silicone arms. Let me know if you've had any issues with figures like that aging or cracking over time. I'd really want to hear your input. Hopefully they're aware of that and they know that people are going to want to at least do this pose with it. So again, I think you'll be safe with this type of pose. I don't know if it's one that you're going to be able to do a ton of crazy stuff with because almost every image is this pose. So just kind of be aware of that as well. Something I'm going to kind of remind myself of as well. But again, that's not a make or break for me. I'd rather have the realism and not be able to pose it crazy than the other way around personally. But that's just preference. And now we're going to look at this base here. The Juggernaut helmet here. The flames on the base. I actually like this base. I mean, I know it's still a rock base. I get it. Like, I'll be honest with you, I'd personally rather just have like a regular base probably that's like, Deadpool Wolverine. But this base is pretty cool. It's got the light up, it doesn't show that it's LED or anything, so I'll definitely look. Maybe it's battery operated, we'll see. But you got the flame effects here, and you got the Juggernaut helmet, so that is pretty cool. And then we're going to look at the whole figure here, and I'm going to move myself out of the way just a little bit so you can kind of see. Let me just do this so that way we can see the whole thing. So again, you get all these different looks for the character. You got this base right here. Again, this is the one issue I'm having with this. So we're going to look back at the base real quick. So I don't really like bases where you can't stand the character by itself. Now, if it's going to come with the, this diorama base, because this isn't a deluxe figure, so I don't want to call it a deluxe base, but this base with just the normal base, I'd rather just have the normal base unless it comes with both. I do like how they're giving us this, they're giving us a little bit more for our money. I get it, but I'm sorry, but when I see this right here, so when you see this right here and you kind of have this foot, up above there, again, I just want to make sure that I have, a flat surface to put the 2 feet on personally. I mean, that's just, again, that's a preference thing. And you can kind of see it right here. So I kind of maybe spoke too soon, because if you could see right here, the helmet is gone. So it's like you can move the helmet around. So I'm just now seeing that. So again, real time, I'm trying my best to kind of go over this real time with you guys, but that's really cool. So again, I'm a bigger fan of that you can kind of move this helmet around. You can even remove it if you want to. So that kind of answers my question right there. So I spoke a little bit too soon. So my bad on that one. But yeah, so you get separate rolling eyeballs. You get 2 styles of hair sculpture. You get this awesome backpack, which I think is an incredible accessory. I love that accessory personally. It's one of my favorite accessories, to be honest with you, that I've seen. I think Deadpool and Wolverine is doing a great job with their characters with the accessories, especially Kidpool and stuff. I mean, they've got great accessories. You get this, what now looks like a removable helmet here, Juggernaut helmet that you can put on the base or remove it with these 2 base looks here. You get the different hand sculpts here. You get this hand sculpt that can hold the sunglasses. Sunglasses, another great accessory. Interchangeable hands with claws. Boots with detachable claws. So again, a great package here for the price of, because we're finally going to figure it out, for the price of $265. And I think that, honestly, for me, that's a great value. Again, trust me, $265 for a collectible is expensive. I'm never going to tell you how to spend your money, or I'm never going to tell you like what's expensive, what's not expensive. Like just in my opinion, I never want to say like, yeah, 265 is a great value, all this stuff. But for me, like seeing where everything's going, and I'm going to make myself a little bit, kind of back to normal size here on this window. To me, 265 is something I want to see more of. I would love to see more of this. To put in comparison, and no disrespect to what Sideshow's doing, but those Sideshow figures that are coming out, like the David, the Beetlejuice, the Pennywise, those are $280, $290. So to get a Marvel licensed product, X-23, $265, where you get just, in my opinion, quite a bit of accessories, not a deluxe base, but a base to go with your figure, some different accessories, this quality of head sculpt. And again, we can kind of see here, masterly crafted based on Daphne Keen's appearance in X-23. It features a newly developed head sculpt and interchangeable hair sculptures, interchangeable hands. We've already kind of talked about this. A skillfully tailored outfit completed with tall boots, a backpack with horse-shaped accessory, pair of sunglasses, and a battle-damaged Juggernaut helmet. Comes with a Rocky-themed diorama base to enhance the display. So, again, and I don't know why this picture is not showing up, but anyway, so $265 expected to ship October 2025 to March 2026. So in my opinion, like, I think that this is a figure that I am definitely I hate to do this because I'm trying so badly not to say I'm pre-ordering. So I've tried to get away from saying I'm going to pre-order stuff for sure on my videos. So let's just say this is something that is very, very likely to be in the collection. So I'm not going to say I'm going to pre-order it. I'm not going to say I'm going to do this, but I will say this is a figure that I really do want, and I'm going to try to wait and see what the other Resistance members look like. But this is a character that I would really love to have in the display. I think it would look great in the Marvel display, look great with your Wolverine. So I'm definitely picking up the Wolverine, which is one of my most anticipated figures coming out next year. So I think that this figure looks great. I think it's going to be, again, to get figures for $265, and if that's what we're going to get from this line is like $260 to $280, that is a great sign, and that's very exciting for us as collectors, with everything going like super premium, super deluxe, $350, $400 plus dollars. It is nice to get a break from that every once in a while, and as amazing as those are, it's nice to get something back around the price of the $265 mark. Again, would it be awesome if it went back all the way to when, possibly getting this for like $240 and stuff? Yeah, of course. But right now, with the pricing of all 6-scale stuff kind of seeming like it's getting more in that deluxe premium style pricing, $265 to me is awesome. I'm so glad they're putting their money into the actual figure, into the head sculpt, into those really important accessories and the tailoring of this piece, as opposed to giving us a lot of different accessories and maybe even like a diorama base that I personally, this is just my opinion, don't really need or want. So this is awesome. So there you have it right there. X-23 from Deadpool and Wolverine, portrayed by Daphne Keene. It's here. The Resistance is here. You don't have to wait no longer. We got the first member of the Resistance officially announced by Hot Toys. Let me know in the comments below if you plan on picking this piece up. If you're prioritizing this Deadpool and Wolverine line, I definitely want to hear your comments below. And let me know what member of the Resistance you're most excited to pick up. Is it X-23? Is it Blade? Is it Gambit? Is it Elektra? Or is it all of them? I know there's a few of you out there that are going to be picking up all of these. Very excited to hear everyone's thoughts in the comments below. Definitely check out in the description some of my live streams. I do a casual Friday live stream every Friday night, so definitely check that out. Check out prior videos of mine. And like I said earlier in the video, hit that thumbs up button, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any more videos. Love to have you here as a subscriber. And if you like this video, I think you're going to like it around here. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.